Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Oh my god, my Santa thing just kind of came down. Whatever. I'm filming right in front of my window, and everybody could probably see me. So we love that. So I got off. Oh, there's shower caps. Lord, I got off of school, and I thought maybe I shouldn't do a video. And the video is going to be me following a James Charles video. I don't even know what video, but we're going to find one because, you know, I just thought about this and I was like, okay, let me do this. And I don't know what I'm going to do because I already know it's going to turn out bad. For one, we have different skin tones. I don't have his palette, but I do have a Morphe palette. I think last time I remember I did. But where at though? I know I have one. Okay, we'll worry about that in a minute. I'm so scared because I'm not good at makeup at all. We're not doing glitter. We're gonna do glitter probably in the eye, but not like on my face actually, because we don't wanna. Ooh, I should do that cut crease though. It's like, cause we ain't that good. Okay. I'm so sorry. Let's start.
So, grab your pinkity drinkities, grab your snackity wackity woos, and brace yourself. A few weeks ago, I uploaded a video on this channel where I got ready, but I went super in depth with every single step of my makeup routine and answered all of the most asked beauty questions in order to give you makeup beginners out there some helpful hints and tips and tricks to make your makeup application process that much easier and better. As you can see, I'm starting off today's video with my base already done, so if you'd like to see how to get perfect skin every time you do your makeup, don't forget to check out last video, which is right up here. For today's video, we're gonna be focusing on
we have to watch. Doing this so long, number one, so please do not judge me. brushes, by the way. I'm not coming on no pad and pencil. James. Charles, sister snatched. Sister, please. Help.
Completely off camera. Now you're probably looking at this and saying, oh my god, sister,
What the heck?
we are normal people. None of us want to rock a sunset half cut.
Wait, I didn't know he was going to
Everyday basis,
go
and trust me, I know, I do not blame you, but I do have a reason for why I did such an intense look today that we're going to be going through. For today's video, I have a lot of different questions and a lot of techniques that I want to go over, so doing a look complicated like this is really going to allow me to hit every different step in order to help you guys step up your makeup routine. Since we're only going to be focusing on this area today, and I really want to give you guys the best view possible, I'm going to go ahead and zoom you right in so you can see super close. So my first step in my eye makeup is always my eyebrows. Some people like to do them first, I really don't. For my shadow today, I'm going to be using the 35B palette. I'm first going to grab my M441, which is the biggest fluffy brush, and dip into the yellow shade in the bottom corner. For this particular look, our yellow is going to act as our transition shade. Holding the brush at an upward angle, I'm going to go in right into my crease and start using circular motions to place that shadow right up in there and to blend it out. When applying the shadows, I'm making sure to pack the color right in the crease and then doing my circular motions to blend them out. This will make sure that the shadow doesn't get all the way up to the brow bone and look muddy and unblended, because that is obviously not what we want. You want to keep the yellow up here in order to make a nice transition between skin tone, color, and then your crease. Next, we're going to move on to our darker shade, which in this case is going to be our orange. So to do this, I'm going to grab my M433, which like I was saying is my favorite crease brush, and I'm going to dip into the bright orange shade. I'm still going to hold my brush at a slight upward angle, but I'm going to hold this one a lot more horizontal to my face. It is staying exactly where we want it in the crease, and the outside bristles of the brush are going to do the job of blending it into that yellow shade without bringing it all the way up to the brow bone. Similar to the yellow shade, I'm going to pat that shadow in there to make sure it's very, very pigmented, and then just do a mix of windshield wiper motions and small circular motions to make sure it is evenly blended out. It's really important to keep in mind the pressure that you're using on your brush throughout your entire makeup process. You want to use heavier pressure when applying the shadows to make sure that they really get pressed in there so they're pigmented, but when you're blending them out, you want to use super, super light pressure. I mean, I'm literally barely even touching my
hate this
eyelid at this point. It is just the tips of the bristles that are running against it that are really going to make everything blend together without placing any new product on there. Once you're happy with that blending, to make sure it's really perfect, I'm going to go back into my original transition shade brush, dip into a little bit more yellow, tap off any excess, and then go right over the border between the orange and the yellow to make sure that everything is blended together and that the yellow doesn't get lost in all of the blending and brush work. Our next darker shade is going to be our red. So once again, I'm going to grab another M433 brush and dip into the red shadow right up in here. When applying this color, I am actually holding the brush almost completely horizontal to my face to make sure that the color gets distributed into exactly the crease and the crease only and doesn't get final color, which is dark purple. So for this, I'm going to grab my M506, which is that tiny little fluffy brush, and dip into the cool tone dark purple shade right up in here. When I go into my darker shade of eyeshadow, whether it be purple, black, dark blue, or even maroon, I always like to start off in the outer corner because that's where I really want most of the product to be focused. And when I grab the product, I always make sure to not really put a lot on my brush. As you can see, I really just packed it in there and barely anything showed up. but that's what we want. My best eyeshadow tip for you guys to do would be apply a little bit of product, blend it out, and then see if you need more. And if you do, then add more product and slowly build your way up. The worst thing you can do is start off dark and try to fix it because there's usually no going back. I'm applying the shadow carefully in my outer V, which is just basically like the socket region right up in here where your eye sits. I did get a few questions on how to sketch it out, but literally just imagine that there's a V from the corner of your eye right up into your crease if they were to connect, and that is where you should put your outer V. And then with whatever excess shadow I have left, I'm just going to drag it into the crease just to provide a little bit of dimension. You guys should know the drill at this point. Grabbing my red and 433, gonna blend right over that edge to make sure that the purple doesn't get too intense and we don't lose that red. And then finally our yellow. We get to take a break from the shadow up and backwards so I can look into the mirror and have all of my eyelid completely accessible and there are no wrinkles. I'm gonna place my brush right in there and I'm just going to follow the shape of my crease right in the top corner, and I'm gonna pack this right on the inner corner of the eye. Then with that same exact brush, grabbing the yellow and packing that right next door. Do not necessarily worry about the blending either. By tapping in the colors next to each other, they're gonna kind of blend naturally, and since the concealer is wet, you have to work fast. Then grabbing the orange, then the red, and then finally the purple, connecting it right into that outer V. As you guys can see, even while packing these shades on there, I still have my head tilted backwards, which might look crazy, but I promise you this makes it so much easier to get full access to your eyelid and make sure that you don't get any shadow where you don't want it to be and you get it right up to that crease line. Similar to up here, how we kept going back in with each individual color after the fact to make sure it was blended, I'm gonna do the same exact thing. So I'm gonna go back into my red and tap it right over that transition area. Then the orange. Before I do the yellow, I do want to add a little bit of a metallic shade on the inner corner just for a little pop of shimmer. And for this, I'm going to use the Tarte Chrome Paint in the shade Top Yacht. I love this one. I'm just going to grab a tiny little...
Honestly, just stopped even paying attention because I don't even know what he's saying. He says a max fix.
I'm going to go back into the yellow and go right over the edge of the two of those colors.
Exactly.
And you guys, that is the upper shadow all complete. See, not that bad when you really break it down. We're gonna take a break from shadow for a second and move on to the winged liner.
So, hey, we did it, y'all. Psych, this video is too long. I look a complete hot mess. Like, I'm not even gonna continue, to be honest, because I look really bad. And thanks for watching. I look a mess. My foundation looks like complete trash. My makeup from that powder that make me look ashy, but my eyebrows are non-existent. So bye, love you, like and subscribe.